What's good, man? This is another edition of TMP, aka Toxic Masculinity Podcast, the Toxic Masculinity Podcast, the livest podcast in the Carolinas. This is your host with the most, Big Cal, man. We coming in live, coming at you this beautiful morning, man. It's a beautiful day down south in the North Cac. It is a blessed day, man. We just coming with some more information for the community. Another way to teach, reach out, reach and teach. Man, I just had a it was a deep question that was on my mind. Topic, just one topic today. I had to call this Cal Shorts, man. But this is a little mini podcast, a little think tank. But yeah, man, the topic was pretty near and dear to me, man. It's something that we're gonna have to put on our thinking cap today in order to capture the full volume of this question. But it's very valid, man. It's very valid. You gotta go beyond the surface to really hang with this one. But the question was, do black Americans have a century-long case of Stockholm syndrome here in the United States and other regions dominated, controlled, and subjugated by Caucasian European white supremacy? Yeah, man, that's a lot to swallow right there, man. It's a lot to take on. I know most people are gonna be like, "What do you with Stockholm syndrome? Isn't that like when you're captured or you're killed? Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about the psychological ramifications of slavery, chattel slavery, and the effects still felt to this day on our people here in the United States and abroad. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it, man. The definition of Stockholm syndrome is a feeling of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taking by a victim toward a captor. Stockholm syndrome, a condition in which hostages develop a psychological bond with their captors during captivity. Stockholm syndrome results from a rather specific set of circumstances, namely the power imbalance contained in hostage-taking, kidnapping, and abusive relationships. Therefore, it is difficult to find a large number of people who experience Stockholm syndrome to conduct studies with any sort of power. This makes it hard to determine trends in the development and effects of the condition. Yeah, man, emotional bonds formed by the captors, for the captors by the captives. Yeah, man. It's a deep one right here, man. It's gonna tug on some heartstrings right here, man. Are we in love with white society, man? Although slavery ended December 18th, 1865, officially it was abolished. Also, they say the 13th Amendment was adopted as part of the United States Constitution. Yeah, man, although it was abolished in the 13th Amendment, and says in my home state, it was abolished January 1st, 1863, during the Emancipation Proclamation. We know the effects of chattel slavery is still felt within our own communities to this day. So that's just a fact, Stockholm syndrome, man, being held captive. I know they'd be like, a lot of people will be like, captive of, but we're free to go. We're free to do as we please. This is true, but the fact still remains. This is a capitalistic society in which we live in. This is a society which is dominated. The resources are dominated by by the people in charge, which are Caucasian people, the people who enslaved us, the people who subjugated us, the people who do not want any positive things to come from our communities. Switch a little bit. Yeah, the people who do not anything positive to come from our communities. So this is just something to think about. We got to think beyond the surface. You know what I'm saying? As far as the subject of this show, black people in America and abroad having Stockholm, a centuries-long case of Stockholm syndrome. Even our African brothers and our Caribbean brothers, and the brothers of South America and whatnot, we all have to understand that we are under the oppressive order of white supremacy. The Negroes in Europe as well. There's nowhere on this earth where we are not oppressed in some form or fashion by white supremacy. This is a fact. Their court systems, their laws, their jobs, health system, in every aspect, we are left destitute. We are left without the proper means and help. We are left as the whooping boy, or the whooping child of the world or the society. The whole world. We are looked down upon. We are always, we are experimented upon. We are treated badly. We get second-rate services. We are just a constant degradation happens just because of the color of people's skin across the globe. Period. We a couple episodes back we talked about Greece and the Bakari Henderson situation, in which he was assailed just for taking a picture with a white woman in Greece. So yeah, but yet, like I said, with the Stockholm syndrome, I'm just how I related back to that. Yet we still have a fascination, and we find our ways to travel to these countries, to be underneath Caucasian people, to look at them in a endearing light as friends, as allies. We still have aligned ourselves with these people. You see a lot of the mixed marriaging and the mixed races going on today. There's just a lot going on, to say the least. So that's my biggest thing. There's a lot of love being shown. There's a lot of endearment. It's a lot of pedestalizing being shown from the black community since slavery ended till this day. It has been a lot of pedestalizing done by the black community. I feel like we identify, we empathize with the white man. We want to be like him. We desire their wealth. We desire to live in their neighborhoods. We desire our children to date their children. We desire to live the lifestyle that they have, that they live. Across the board. So definitely the majority of, for sure, black Americans have some sort of fascination with white culture, as far as we indoctrinate ourselves deeper and deeper into it. We like I said before, we try to find ways to ingratiate and be like them on a lot of levels. Yeah, so that's what it kind of brings me back to that. Like we do have a case of Stockholm syndrome in the United States. Black people do have a case of Stockholm syndrome. We may not be physically captive, but we are captive. Do not ever think that you're not. Please do not fall for that mistake. Because the idea is to create an illusion that you are free. You know, the freedom that you have. I heard Dame Dash say on the podcast, freedom is cheap, and I do agree. But they will take it away from you, and it will be priceless at that point. Freedom is cheap. You know, they don't really, the freedom they give, they don't really respect it anyway, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of things, like our illusion is that we are free. But the fact is that cards are stacked against us as Black people in America. So yeah, man, I feel like for a lot of us love white people's dirty draws, man. Like we're nothing but their little field, they house niggas, they field niggas. You know, they're like, a lot of niggas is like loyal dogs in America to white folks. They could do anything. They could slap us, we'll turn the other cheek. They could overtax us. They could give us predatory loans. They could give us higher interest rates and take away our houses and foreclose on us in situations like that, and we will just take it on the chin and keep moving. But let a Black person cheat you out of $25, $10. You're ready to lay it all on the line and crash out for pride against them. Not to say it's right, but it's something that's, we have a Stockholm syndrome. We have a fascination. We are fascinated and really enthralled by white culture. They have us under their thumb. And it's been like this since slavery, basically since slavery. Especially in the United States. Colonialism and whatnot and all that, that's after the fact. You know, Africa fell. We know that, you know, with guns, bombs, whatnot. Africa fell in probably the late the early 1900s. Became majority Caucasian ruled and controlled. So yeah, it's definitely a situation besides Black America that, you know, this Stockholm syndrome does not just stop in the American lines, you know, the lines of the Americas. This is a global thing, you know. It's not really hard to see, you know. This is really probably in my opinion, the idea of Marcus Garvey and his Black nationalism. You know, I'm sure this was his purpose, was to align folks of the whole Pangea, you know, with Pangea and all that, just all of us together. I'm sure that was his mission, to align us all together, because that is really the only way that we'll be able to defeat this Stockholm syndrome. You know, it's not something that Americans can just defeat. It's something that we globally are attached to, and then we all are under the thumb of oppression, white supremacy. And if we don't see that, it's just going to continue to be that. And other races are working against us. You know, we see that, you know, even though they're nowhere near Caucasian, you know, the Asians, certain races are definitely going to work against us. You know, certain Latin American groups, hell, even certain Africans, man. So we just got to stay focused, man, because this is really something that we are under. You know, this is something that it's really, like I said, it's a defense mechanism. Stockholm syndrome is, because it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. But the thing is, if you don't wake up and see that you're under a certain rule, to see that you're under this mind control, to see that you do have a sickness, that you are under control, it is only going to spiral deeper and deeper into a state where it's going to take longer and longer for us to unlock this mindset. You know, this new generation, I love this new generation, because, man, that, like I said, they absorb information, man. It's the digital age, you know, everything's online. Like they really don't have to take your word for it. They can see it firsthand. So I mean, The sooner we get situations like this and like shows like mine to give people that spark to let them see, like, man, we're under mind control right now. We're we're in a state of Stockholm syndrome globally. Black people are against white supremacy and white people. We have a love with our captors, the ones who to this day hold us down. To this day, they set up the system in order for us to fail and in order for us to thrive and still be the lifeblood of this country. That is a fact. The fix is in. You got to think in the most impoverished areas of this United States, the Mississippis, the Louisianas, the certain areas where really all over the United States where there's black people. Think about this. When you're born, you're given a birth certificate and a social security card. In order to leave this country, you have to pay for a passport and you have to pay for a plane ticket. Now, we know in some places in this country, there are places where racism is still thick. There are places where people aren't the most educated, where people aren't, given opportunities, where people don't really know any better. They were born and indoctrinated into the system in which they were, which is maybe public housing and the system, whatnot, being raised off the system, being basically cultured and raised to be with given no guidance, that to like I said, to fuel the system of white supremacy in America, to fill up the jails. That is the point of a lot of these kids. They're raising these kids knowing that they're gonna fail. They're not giving them opportunities. They're not giving them any type of way to make any money. I mean, they're not given proper education. The schools aren't being funded because they're in lower income communities. So, I mean, let's just be real. We are still captive to this day. It's to a certain extent, it's willful captivity, but it's still captivity. No one is giving us another route. Like, we are obviously, we are free to do as we choose. But at the end of the day, we know there's places in this pockets of America where it's destitute, where there's no guidance, where it's due to the years of already being ran through the system. Like, we already have a lack of men. We have a high men incarcerated in the black communities across America. So you're already starting some of these kids off in a negative disposition, in a negative place. You're starting them off behind the 8-ball. So that's why I say we are captive. Do not get it twisted and think we're not captive. We are definitely captive. If it costs money, like it's a passport, so at least around $100, and you got to get a picture taken. And tickets, if you want to go anywhere, a ticket is going to cost you some money, depending on where it is. If you want to get out of this country, go somewhere, wherever. And wherever you go is going to still be white supremacy. So it's going to still be a place in which is dominated in some way. They have their hand in it. I think Africa would probably be the better place if you don't want to just be surrounded by Caucasian people. I've heard that certain places in Africa are all right. But yeah, man, it's at the end of the day, man, it's sweeping the world, man. I've just noticed that about us, man. We have a love with our captors. We have a love with the people who mistreat us, who beat us down, subjugate us, mass incarcerate us, lie to us and tell us that it's a guilt trip us to say it's our fault that we're down. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. People that do not share resources, people that say it wasn't my family that enslaved you and you weren't enslaved, so get over it. And even though you're reaping the benefits of our families being enslaved, your white skin alone gives you access and abilities that we do not have. So I say again, Stockholm syndrome. It's a coping mechanism to a captive or abusive situation. Black Americans in abroad and in America are in a abusive situation. We are in a abusive situation. There's no other way to say that. No other way to point that out. There's no other way to bring light to that. I mean, there's no excuse or there's no denying that we are in a abusive situation from the Caucasian and people and the lawmakers, the ones who run this country, who are not majority black. The Caucasian people in charge, the Bidens, the politicians, the lobbyists, the people who run these banks and these big corporations. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are subjugating black folks. They are abusing black folks. They are not giving a hand up to black folks, historically or to this day. They have, and they've basically been doing is pacifying us, telling us that things are getting better, aligning and putting in placing people in position to um lure us down and neutralize us, or what's the word, disengage us, you know what I'm saying, and disarm us. And basically like these all these Kamala Harris's and all these certain black women and black men that they appoint, these cornball motherfuckers that they appoint at these positions, you know what I'm saying, the Cory Bookers, who he was at my graduation, you know, I'm a HBCU graduate, HBCU at North Carolina Central. He's a cornball. I can look at him. He's not my type of nigga. He's not a leader type to me, you know. He's a kowtower to me, in my opinion, in all you know, observation. The Kamala Harris's, you know, the girl who we just talked about her earlier, the what's the name? Cory Booker defended her, the Supreme Court Justice. I can't remember her name right now. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, all these people, like all these people are appointed at these positions, man, and basically like they continue to keep our senses down, keep us down, you know. Like I said, disengage us and leave us really defenseless. So yeah, it's definitely a mental mind game being played on the Black Americans, man. It's definitely mental warfare that's being played on us right now. And Stockholm syndrome it's just a flashy word, but it definitely applies. You know, it's something that I feel like will catch your attention, but it applies to our situation. We're in an abusive situation. We've been a captive situation. It has been less. If slavery ended, like I said, I have a 92-year-old grandmother. I had a 92-year-old grandmother. She was born in 1929. Slavery ended 1865. I did the math. That's 66 years difference between her when she was born and the end of slavery. $66 years. Person's lifetime. That's nothing. That's nothing. Her grandparents were slaves, born into it. So to say we've been captive, you know, like point blank period, like that's 2 generations, you know what I'm saying, from her family being enslaved. So we were held captive for centuries, hundreds of years, abused, systemically, throwing us in jail for loitering, vagrancy, you know, not having jobs, et cetera, et cetera. We, you know, the system is obviously made against us to have us mass incarcerated, to make us slaves again. This is a fact. There's rarely white people who defend us outwardly. We see that daily, you know, we see that, but they appropriate our culture. They love us, you know, everything about us they love our swag, our appearance, they love how we talk, how we walk, everything about us they love. But it is just, you know, the irony in that is just the hypocrisy in that, you know, it's just disgusting in my opinion. It's really is out of pocket, to be honest with you. But at the same time, we love them back. They slap, like I said the other day, a second ago, they slap us, we turn the other cheek. They slap us again, we turn the other cheek again. We will allow them to get away with murder. Stockholm syndrome. This is a first sign of Stockholm syndrome. We allow our captors, we look at them with an endearing light. We allow them to mistreat us, and we get back up and allow them to do it again and again, time and time again. So that is just my question with the Black community. What can we do, man? Why do we have this issue? What can we do from here to fix it? What can we do from here to eradicate it? What can we do from here to pull ourselves up and unify and unite, and you know what I'm saying, and tell everybody, like, tell this culture, tell these devils to, you know, back the fuck up. We got this shit. You know what I'm saying? We have to organize. We have to do what we got to do. I mean, we have a system that controls every aspect of our lives, period. And it is not a Black ran system. We know this. This is a capitalistic European system of democracy, as they call it. So yeah, man, we gotta put our thinking caps on, man. We gotta go deep. We gotta understand that we are under white supremacy, white oppression. We have a century-long case of Stockholm syndrome amongst the black community here and abroad. Um, we have a love for them. Let's just call it what it is. We have a love for them. We have a love for their society. We have a love for the culture that they have, taken from us and said that it was theirs and they created. We have a love for everything that they deem valuable. No matter how much they mistreat us, we have love. No matter how much they tell us we are not shit, they throw us in jail, throw your family members in jail, your brothers, your sisters, we love them. No matter what kind of fucking jobs they put out here, shitty jobs that paid 35,000 before taxes for the majority of us, we love them. No matter how much the inflation in the stock market, or what, I'm not the stock market, but fuck the stock market. Yeah, but I mean, make moves in the stock market and shit like that, make you money. I'm talking about inflation and whatnot, as far as gas prices, housing, affordable housing, cost of living, family home time, just the whole system in which you live. 5-day work weeks, 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, 8+ hours a day. The situation in which we are under, we love them. We hate the situation that they created. We hate the environment and the muck and misery that they put the majority of Americans, black and white, in. But we love them. We continue to love them. You know what I'm saying? And that is a first sign, a huge sign that of Stockholm syndrome. We've been free for less than 200 years. As a people, we've been free for less than 200 years. And in that time, we've had time to marry, love, have a lot of mixed race babies, let the lines blur between us, as far as we've forgiven them. In our actions, we've forgiven them. We have gained nothing for their actions. Nothing. Like, there's literally nothing the black man, the black woman on this earth has gained from the gentrification, eradication, subjugation, domination of the black man in America by the European. There's nothing we gained from that. There's nothing financially. There's nothing. We didn't get no 40 acres in the mule. We don't get good jobs. We don't get any reparations. We don't get anything but the same treatment that they have, and they say, like it, get used to it, enjoy it. The only thing you get now is the freedom of a regular American, but we still treat you like shit. We still prosecute you hard, more harshly than we would a European doing these acts. We judge you with a big, put you on a bigger magnifying glass, put you on a bigger microscope. We comb over everything with a fine tooth comb. We make it harder for you. We make you jump through this proverbial fucking hoop of fire. You know what I'm saying? This obstacle course, just to get to the basic stuff that we would give to an average white American. That was the deal. You know what I'm saying? This is the deal. So it's just what we'll take. It's amazing what we'll take for a little bit of freedom, for a little bit of amenities, a little bit of like I said, supposed freedom. So yeah, man, it's a wild situation we're under mentally, man. It's definitely a whirlwind we're under mentally, man. We definitely can't take this thing for granted, though, man. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing that Yah, the Most High, has protected us to this point, because that shows in itself that it will be a new day. There will be change. And what is funny is, you can see the tides turning now. We see a older generation that their way of life is starting to fade. It's starting to leave. You know what I'm saying? We see a generation that is, the lines are being blurred, which is a blessing. So just in America, man, we gotta have these babies. We gotta keep on producing. We gotta be fruitful. That's a big thing. We got to protect our own. We got to learn how to, work these guns, work these certain situations to our favor, to our benefit. These amenities and these freedoms that we are given, we have to dominate them.
Waiting for Perry.
Turn that damn Bluetooth off. But yeah, man, we have to dominate what we can control, man. We have to make sure everything in which is in our power, we're taking full advantage of, that we have, that can turn the tides, that can, fight the favor into our side. We have to take full advantage of where we're at right now currently. That's my biggest thing that I want to just put out there. We just got to go harder, man. Everything that we do, we got to go harder in. As I say, man, you just got to find a way, man. You have to find a way. Got to, man. We got to. We cannot let the mental mind games win, man. We cannot let it is, and it's a very good play by them. I'm not gonna lie, man. Let a few people win, let a few people in, make it seem as if black people are getting real progress. I mean, it is a beautiful game that they're playing, mental mind game they're playing. We're all falling for it, have us obsessed with society and cultures and celebrityisms and all that, and deifying people and obsessing over them as if they're more important in our own lives and in what we have going on in the bigger picture of the black community and the black people of this earth. It's definitely ingenious what the Caucasian people have done. The mind games they played, it is ingenious. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it is child's play to someone of my magnitude, of my intelligence. It is child's play. I may not know everything that you're doing verbatim, like everything that you're doing, but I do know and I do see the writing on the wall. I do see the banana in the tailpipe, in which a lot of us do not see. A lot of white, black, all Americans do not see. We just play right into it. But yeah, Stockholm syndrome is deep amongst us. It's definitely deep amongst the American black populace. It's deep amongst the UK and anywhere where we're living amongst them. It's huge. Every day we deal with their shit. We put up with their shit. We allow them to give us their ass to kiss, and we do nothing about it. We do absolutely nothing about it. So yeah, man, that's my question to the black community. Why do we have this issue? Why and can we wake up from this issue? Why do we have a love for our captors? Why do we have a love for our abusers? What are they doing for us to make them have this term of endearment toward us just because they have white skin? Fuck them. And I mean, I sometimes feel as if we are fearful due to the terror in which our DNA. I feel like it's down to that level. The trauma that we've partaken in over the years. And we've been subject of trauma. You know what I'm saying, due to their hands. I feel like maybe due to that we see ourselves as less than and them as higher, and we fear them. I sometimes see that. I feel that we fear them. So the biggest thing to do is to acquiesce and kiss their butts. You know what I'm saying? And as far as just to make them feel good. But me personally, I don't do that. I don't ascribe to that, man. I'm a Paul Mooney, 5150, Corey Holcomb, man, just to name a few, man. I love the Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton. I can go on and on, man. It's plenty, man. It's plenty that I look up to, man. Just the heart that they had, the heart of a lion, man. The heart to say what they got to say and say what they want to say. And then I think this conversation will get things rolling. We have Stockholm syndrome, man. What we gonna do, man? I'm not saying we should hate them, because I guess that's the opposite of what people will say. I'm not saying we should hate our people, our oppressors, the people that oppressed us over years and whatever. A lot of these folks, like their main excuse is I personally didn't lynch anyone, and you don't know anyone that's been lynched. But like I just told you, it's time is relative. You know what I'm saying? Like the conditions and that we are under now are directly affected by the past. Period. Like, and you cannot, nothing you can say can, deny that fact. So that's all I really care about. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying hate anyone. I know that's something that someone's always got to say. Oh, so if you don't, we're doing this because we're trying to, come together and be, but create allies. And, my biggest thing with that is if they were your allies, then there would be so much more change being done. There would be so much more progress. They would be doing things on the daily just as much as we are. That is not a fact. No one is fighting for no one from their side is fighting hard for us. That's period. Now you have the few celebrity bullshit. Kim Kardashian is getting this shit for clout and whatever, man, getting whatever that bullshit was with Trump. It's bullshit, man. No people are really fighting behind this. Nobody's putting their neck out on the line for us like that as a community. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling you to hate. I'm not telling you to hate anyone. Like I'm just saying, why do we love them? Why do we have a type of endearment and love for them? That's my biggest deal. Why do we protect them and protect their culture and love everything about them but hate ourselves? Basically, that's my biggest deal. Because I'm not saying you should abuse your abuser. We should be highly aware of our abuse. We should be highly aware of our past. And we should do everything in our power to rectify that. You know what I'm saying? Self-love is the best love, man. We got to find out. We got to delve more into being a community and worried about what affects us, as opposed to worrying about their opinion of us. Like that Oscar situation, everybody's wondering about their opinion and how we look. I mean, who are they to judge us? That's in my opinion. Who are they to be the judge of character or anything? They have the most bloody past on this earth. Period. So, in my opinion, I mean, we deify them too much. We pedestalize them too much. They're nobody to be pedestalized. We aren't either, man. We all are people, man. But at the same time, if you're a person who's down, we're down mentally. We have to boost ourselves up in any way, form, or fashion. So it doesn't even matter, man. Fake it till you make it. Love yourself every day. Make affirmations to yourself and chance and tell yourself the community will be prosperous. Tell yourself that we will be prosperous. We will dwell in righteousness. We will love each other. You know what I'm saying? We will become stronger, more together. That's it. We will be a people of peace, a people of togetherness. You know what I'm saying? We will not have to ingratiate ourselves. I feel like we have to acquiesce to someone else and capitulate to someone else in order to make ourselves feel like we're somebody. No, we are somebody, whether or not we attain this European lifestyle, wealth and riches and fame, whatever the fuck that they identify as successful. No, like we have to be more about community and community building, our community building itself up, the community building the community, period. Self-hate is real, man. Self-hate, Stockholm syndrome creates self-hate. It creates shitty communities. It creates you wanting to shit on your hood and go live with the white folks. You know what I'm saying? They want you to go to the white schools and say fuck the black schools and all that mindset. It's what it does, what it creates, man. Because you love them, you love them. You want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? These are your captors. These are the people who don't want good for you, but you continue to love them. Yeah, man, this has been a good episode, man. I think this has really been a thinker, really been something that it's been a good little question question posed right here, man. Do we have a case, a centuries long case of Stockholm syndrome in the United States as Black people and abroad? I don't know if anybody's ever had posed this question yet. This is a good question. I just that's something I really haven't even looked up because I don't want to see anyone else's opinion of it. It's something that just popped into my head because I'm like, man, we have a huge case of this. Like, we literally love the people that have held us captive to this day, that use us. Our bodies are nothing but fuel for their system of white supremacy. That's all they look at it as. You know, schools. I seen, and this is the fact. I seen Dame Dash say it. Schools, hospitals, and jails all look alike, and that's a fact. That is a fact. They want to psychologically already desensitize you to being cool, being in white walls and white cells. Like they are putting, you know, it is literally, we are captive. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's ironic to be like, nobody's probably ever really thought about the Stockholm syndrome being a thing because they think somebody being held hostage. But we are literally being held hostage. They don't give you anything, and you have to work for everything, and they make everything unaffordable and unattainable with the means that they give you. They make you pay for college, pay for education, pay for anything that can help you excel. And it starts from a young age. They want you to start off against the 8 ball. They do not want you to grow into anything that can, you know, maybe even they don't want to tell you about any of the other ways that you can make money. You know, the trades in the little certain trades, you know, tech trades, IT, engineering things, you know, certain things where you just need a certification. You know, you don't have to go and get those astronomical student loans and, you know, stuff that was pushed on the millennial generation. You know, it's like they want you to be come up through their music, through the music that they push, the violent music that they push. They want us to come up violent, illiterate, illogical, irrational, emotional. They want you to come up just, you know, crazy. They want you to get in trouble early and or to be ignorant early so they can use your body. That's it. So you're captive. You know what I'm saying? They're like they raise generations of people to think this way, and they don't give you an outlet out of it. All they do is give you a fast food job, a bullshit job, making $9 an hour, little benefits, and just, you know, ignorance. Like I said before, you know, they arrest your people for anything. You know, a lot of people like used to, you know, got caught up in the crack era of using and abusing, you know, crack cocaine and whatnot. That like everything's a plan, everything's a plot. So don't think you're not captive. Then there's no way you can say you're not abused in America. That's just a fact. But you cannot even say you're not held captive, because you really are. Because most of the people, like, if you could leave and go somewhere, you would. Like, you can't. You don't even speak other languages. Like, if you could leave and afford to go live in other places, you can barely afford to survive in a fucking America. People come to America. So what makes you think that you can, like, really just get up and leave and go places and just be okay somewhere else? For the majority of Black people in America, that is not even a thought. That is not even, you know, that is not even something that they can afford, or something that's like a viable option. That's not even an option, period. So it's ironic. They're like, go back to Africa, do this, do that. With what money and with what resources, you dumb son of a bitch? So that makes no fucking sense, man. So that's how I say, man. And nobody will ever guilt me, or I would never guilt a Black person to make them feel sorry about money or anything, or resources, or talk down. Like, I've seen a post that said most millennials would rather not work than be working poor. So I understand that. Like, who the fuck wants to work just to get by, just to pay for the apartments, and just to be like with your head in the ground? You're basically, your body is basically useless again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are a slave. So what is the point of me just to get up, go to a job I hate, just to pay for an apartment that I don't want, just to not be able to build anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a you know, it's a slippery slope. Just to get on your feet, just to build credit, just to be able to get ahead in life. It is a slippery slope out here with no help, especially as a Black American. It's very hard. Uneducated from some of these situations, single mother households, they hold you captive. Trust and believe me, your body when you're born there, and you get your birth certificate and your social security number, they have a plot right then as soon as you're born for your body. Trust and believe. If you don't have a parent plan, they got a plan for you. I promise you that. If you don't have a plan as a Black man or woman in America, I promise you, them people got a plan for you. So yeah, man, this is TMP, man, and I appreciate everybody that's listening to me, man. This is some good dimes being dropped in this episode. Man, if you feel inclined, man, I would definitely appreciate the donation, $ toxic masculinity POD. That's right there on the left bottom. Yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram. Let me get that up for you real finesse. That's my IG right there. At @CHilly10_4. Man, I appreciate all the love, man. And anybody that's coming through and showing love, watching my videos, man. I'm just getting better, just branding myself. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get TMP more out there, you know, a more known name, you know, toning it down some if I have to. Whatever I gotta do, this is across. Man, sometimes I'm fired, sometimes I'm hot. That's toxic, man. Whatever it is, Miss TMP, this masculinity, man. Sometimes I can be cool and educated and speak to you calmly. Sometimes I'm gonna come off shooting from the hip, man. That's how I do. But it's all love. No matter how it comes, it's all love, man. I promise you that. Also, if you need anything moved, man, I still got the moving company, XL Auto Transportation Incorporated. Give me a call at 704-785-0654. And I appreciate you listening to my podcast, man. This has been a good one right here. I feel like I dropped some good information out to the people. And yeah, just give me any insight you have, positive or negative. I'll take it all, man. Yeah, man. Keep on listening to me. Keep on hanging in there with me, man. I'm improving and I'm getting better with every episode, man. I appreciate everybody, all the fans, man, all the TMPers coming through and hollering at me. Shit, man, we just getting better and better, man. But yeah, this has been another edition of TMP, man. This is your host, man.